What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here. The new book is out. Go get that. The old book been out. Go get that. You can inbox me on Facebook at Solace Solari to get the books. Now, the sperm is the spirit. The egg is the body. The spirit went into the body, and this is how you got you. Now, you have to grasp. This is how the second dimensional life ascends into the third dimension. From sperm cells getting egg cells, which is spirits getting bodies, ascending over from one dimension to the next. So you were a microcell life living within someone, a person. So you, who's ever watching this, you were microcell life living within a person, your father. You was pushed out of your father in semen into your mother. When you were inside your mother, you got a body, which is called an egg cell. Then you developed, you were pushed out of the world you were in and became what you was in, meaning you became a human. So you went from microcell life, living in the second dimension, and you ascended over into this dimension by getting an egg cell, which is a body. So this is when you read in the Bible of 7 heavens and a man dying and the spirit ascending over into the next life. This is what that is explaining. Deep understanding of the life and how it works. So this is how life works on every level. Spirits must get bodies to ascend over into the next dimension. So the microcell life within me, it dies. Micro life dies just like you die. Same thing. So the microcell life within me, when it dies, the spirit within it returns to my spirit. It is then pushed out in semen. And then this is how one of them will get a body, which is an egg cell, and then be pushed out, born, and become me, a human. So it's a deep thing. The microcell life dies, spirit leaves, returns to a man. Returns to the man spirit and is pushed out as sperm cell. Now, where does that leave the woman? Because women don't have sperm cells. Well, they were sperm cells that got eggs, just like us. My daughter's a woman, but she was one of my sperm cells. She was the sperm cell out of the 300 million. She was the one that got the egg and ascended over. So grasp, women have spirits or sperms. The sperm is the spirit, doesn't cancel anybody out. Now, you have to grasp, being as though a woman doesn't bust nuts or ejaculate like a man, when the microcell life within her body dies, what happens to their spirit? The same thing as a man's. It returns to the spirit of the woman, and then it is pushed out as egg cells. So, microcell life dies within a man, the spirit within it returns to the man's spirit, and is pushed out in semen as sperm cells, looking for bodies. Microcell life within a woman dies. The spirit within the microcell life within her returns to her spirit. It is pushed out as egg cells, which is the bodies for the sperm cell. Now, you must grasp, all life has its time. A dog doesn't live as long as a man. A gorilla doesn't live as long as a bird. Or lives longer than a bird, or however it works. Then you have different kinds of living things. You have unconscious and the conscious. Now, the conscious would be basically the negative charge of the life, referring back to electrons, protons, and neutrons. Now, if you don't grasp that, don't worry. You have life like us that is conscious, mobile, can do what it wants, control its environment. And then you have life that is like unconscious, but it is still living like a flower. It's seasonal life. It comes, it goes, it comes again, it goes again. But it has its time period. So you have to understand, all living things have a certain time. Now, when a flower, the way a flower lives, it doesn't move or give you any notice to think it's alive. But it is just like you if you were asleep. When you're asleep, you're unconscious, immobile. Yet you are still alive. You're not dead. So you have two different kinds of lives. And you are like both of them when you're awake and sleep. Now, an egg cell is like a flower in a sense. It is alive and a living being, but it is not conscious or like us. It doesn't have that same spirit or charge as us. It is more of a host. Only life can sustain life. So the body has to be living too. But all living things has its time limit and it dies. And then that positive charged spirit that is within the woman, the microcell life, that returns to her spirit and is pushed back out as egg cells again. So this is why a woman has her period every month, as opposed to the first time she produced eggs, just keep those her whole life, or until she gets pregnant, as opposed to having them pushed out every month painfully. This is why. Because when the microcell life within her body dies, or the egg cells within her body dies, which are micro life also, the spirits leave the bodies because they are dead and they return to the woman. And now the bodies are nothing but waste, so she must dispose of it. And then new ones come. So this is the divineness of life. You must grasp how special you are, because you are 1 out of 300 million of the sperm cell that actually got the egg. And you're here. And everybody you see is that 1 out of 300 million. So if somebody tell you lazy, you tell them, man, do you know what I did when I was microcell life? I got the egg out of 300 million other motherfuckers. I'm tired. Shemaine and Solace.